Familiar with the word Dharma in Pali? I was thinking there are two primary meanings. In the simplest sense, it's referring to the teaching of the Buddha. So in the Mahayana tradition, we say there are the three treasures, the three basic elements of Buddhism: Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. The Buddha being the original teacher and founder of Buddhism, the Dharma being his teaching, and thirdly the Sangha, those people through the centuries who have aspired to practice and realize the Buddha's teaching. But in a broader sense, the Dharma refers to everything around us as it is. Everything that we see, the sounds that we hear, the things that we smell, taste, touch, and think. In other words, everything that comes in through the six sense functions is the Dharma. The Buddha talked about the Dharma with what he called the law of causality, or the principle of conditioned causation, which simply means that all things that we can see around us, from the clouds to the earth to the trees, cars, people, that all things arise and disappear because of causes and conditions, which is to say that everything is, first of all, impermanent. Everything is constantly changing. And secondly, that there's no beginning or end to anything, which means that within things there is no fixed self. So that is one way we can think of the Dharma, that everything is the Dharma, but those things that we see, hear, smell, taste, touch, and think are constantly changing. The Buddha said that all things are subject to natural laws. Mountains are high, valleys are low. For example, water has to flow downhill. Water does not go uphill. Water is always going downhill, right? So those things that are often said to be suffering in life, those things that cause us difficulty, are also natural laws. For example, birth, old age, sickness, and death. Those are said to be the four basic sufferings of life. But those things as well, the Buddha said, are natural laws. They are not problems to be solved. They are not something that we have to resolve by our power or through the power of anything else. So, he said the secret to liberation from those sufferings is to be able to accept those natural laws as they are. And the only reason we cannot do that is because we think there is something fixed, something special inside we call the self. So the teaching of the Buddha really is about forgetting the ego and realizing that all things that we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch are the self. The last thing that I'd like to point out is that the Dharma does not belong to any one person. It does not belong to the Buddha. We often use the word Buddha Dharma, and certainly the Buddha was the first human being by virtue of giving up himself to realize the oneness of all things, what we call the Dharma. But that Dharma does not belong to the Buddha. The Dharma belongs to all of those people who make the Dharma their own. And that's what I believe Buddhism, the objective of Buddhism is to realize that we are the Dharma. That all things we see, hear, smell, taste, touch are the Dharma. So thanks so much for coming out. The Dharma is also offering an extended hand to those people who are less fortunate than ourselves. Thank you.